Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I just finished my first month on compounded tirzepatide. This isn't my first month in general on GLP-1s, but this is my third time starting, so this is my first month. And I thought it was appropriate to make this video, as you'll see in the title, about 5 mistakes that I've made in my first month now that I've gone through it 3 times.
Feature editing Heather here, and I just realized that my microphone was not connected to my phone this entire video. So sorry about that, guys. I am still learning and I'm not an influencer. So just give me some grace while I learn the ropes of YouTube, please.
So if you're about to start a GLP-1 or you just started, I want to save you from some of the mistakes that I made. Because honestly, some of them make the side effects way worse than they need to be. So hopefully after you're done watching this, your first month will be a lot smoother than mine. Okay, so when you first start on these GLP-1 medications, there's definitely a learning curve, whether it's tirzepatide, semaglutide, or the same thing as the name brands, Zepbound, Ozempic, Mounjaro, all of those. And while these medications can be an incredibly powerful tool, not a lot of people, or at least the doctors, don't discuss with you. They discuss with you the side effects, but they don't discuss with you how to fix them or how to reduce them or eliminate them. And I found out the hard way that it does make your first few weeks a lot harder than it needs to be. So mistake number 1, eating too fast. And again, I'm sorry if you have watched all my other videos from the beginning of my channel, but a lot of these videos, like, it's gonna be the same information just over and over again, regurgitated, because all of the side effects and all of the negative things that could happen while on these medications, they can be fixed simply with these tips that I'm about to show you across multiple side effects. So the first mistake is eating too much too fast. And, when you start these medications, your digestion slows down. It's literally the one way that the medication works. It helps you feel fuller longer. But in the first month, if you have never tried these before, your brain might need to catch up a little bit quicker than your stomach. So my first month, 2 years ago, I was definitely eating as much as I used to, as fast as I used to, and it caught up with me. Yeah, suddenly I would hit this wall where I was just like so uncomfortably full and nauseous. So one thing I learned quickly is that you probably should stop eating when you're about 70% to 80% full. And that's usually like the first sign that you're like, do I need more? The answer is no. The answer is always no. A few things that definitely helped me was eating on a smaller plate. So we have, if you get like a dish set, you got plates, bowls, everything, but you get the regular dinner size plates and then you get like the appetizer size plates. I'll just get you an example. Okay, so we have dinner size plate, can you see it? Versus appetizer, or I guess salad plate. I don't know. I'm not fancy. But I don't never use these anymore. My husband either. He just follows what I do. And he's eating smaller portions as well. So this is what I use. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I actually don't even touch these larger plates anymore. They're on a higher shelf in our cabinets that I can't even reach without a step stool. So eating smaller portions and the smaller plate helps that just automatically. And then taking smaller bites and eating slower and more intentional about your food. Actually enjoy your food because you're eating less of it, so you might as well enjoy it while you can. And then waiting a few minutes or more than a few minutes if you decide whether or not to go back for more or finish your plate. If you ate half your food and then you're like, do I want to continue eating? Like I said, the answer is always no. So my number 1 takeaway for this would be, if you are new to GLP-1s, treat your meals like mini meals. You can still eat the same meals that you would have before, but just smaller portions. And mistake number 2 is not drinking enough water. How many times have you heard me say this on this channel? Drink your water. Drink your water, drink your water. Drink your water plain, drink your water room temperature, drink your water ice cold, drink your water with electrolytes added to it. I don't care what you do or how you do it, just drink your water. This is a big one, and obviously my lovely 40-ounce Simple Modern tumbler that I am in love with and take with me everywhere, including sits in my bedside at night, follows me around 24/7, which I love. I drink 2 of those a day, so it's 40 ounces each. 80 ounces of water every day. Because on these medications, it can really lead to dehydration, headaches, fatigue, constipation, and nausea. And guess what? All of those side effects can really be reduced or eliminated in general with hydration, drinking your water and electrolytes. And when I first started, I really did think that I was drinking enough because I did have that big tumbler. I've had that since I was pregnant with my daughter. But once my appetite dropped, I realized I was forgetting to drink throughout the day. So what helps me is, number one, keeping that tumbler close by. I'm looking around and I realize I left it upstairs and I feel like a piece of me is missing right now. Occasionally adding electrolytes if you feel depleted or you feel like your blood pressure is low because you're dehydrated. That's usually what gets me. If I stand up too quick and you see stars or you start to black out, add some electrolytes to your water. That might help you. And drinking water while you eat. I don't know if it's just like some people just like eat their meals without drinking anything the entire time, but you should definitely like stop every few bites and drink water or drink whatever you're drinking to help you. So again, my personal goal is 2 of my 40-ounce simple modern tumblers, so 80 ounces a day. That's just a personal goal for me. And sometimes I hit it, sometimes I don't. I'm not too hard on myself if I don't. I just know the next day is a brand new day and I move on. Okay, so now mistake number 3 and mistake number 4 kind of go hand in hand. But mistake number 3 was expecting instant results. Now, when I first started this 2 years ago on these GLP-1 medications, I was 215 pounds. So I was 6 months postpartum. I could not lose the baby weight. I had never been that high of a weight in my entire life, when I was not pregnant, I should say. And I just didn't know what to do. So that's when I started on Zepbound, brand name. And I really expected to be back down to like pre-pregnancy wedding weight in like 3 months. Because I had seen everyone all over social media. Well, now I'm getting into the second one, but it's, the second one is comparing your journey to everyone else's, right? Comparison is the thief of joy. But I really needed to be realistic with myself because the first month is not about that drastic weight loss. That's great if that happens to you, which in turn I found out that I am a turtle. I'm a slow loser. Even at the highest doses, I only lose about a pound a week, which is totally fine because that leads to not having, loose skin and stuff like that. My skin bounces back. Anyway, that's a different discussion. But the first month really needs to be about learning and adjusting with your body, learning the new healthy patterns, managing the side effects, and just getting up to the therapeutic dose. So like I said, some people lose weight, a lot of weight right away. That's great. Some people don't even start losing weight until month 2 or 3. Both of these are completely normal. So what I wish I kind of wrapped my head around the first time, for the first month at least, was that this is just not another crash diet. This is a long-term tool for success. So yeah, and then I'll go back into mistake number 4, which is comparing your journey to everyone else's. Social media definitely plays an evil little role in this for sure. So I spent way too much time comparing myself to people that I saw online. I still do. I mean, listen, if you're a woman, I don't know, maybe if you're just a person in general, jealousy is a human trait, and comparing your journey to somebody else's who just started 3 or 6 months ago and you're like, wow, they lost like 80 pounds and I've still only lost 30. Every body is different, so you just need to give yourself grace with that. What matters most is how you trend over time. So if you look at my scale in the app that I use for Renpho, that Renpho scale, as long as it's trending downward, that's good. When you stall, which I mentioned in my other video about how when you come to a stall or if the food noise comes back, that's a sign that it's time to dose up. So if I see a stall over, I would say maybe 2 weeks, more than 2 weeks, if I'm stalled at my weight and if I have another symptom like the food noise came back or I'm starting to get really, really hungry again when normally I wouldn't, it's time to dose up. And mistake number 5, ignoring my body's signals. So this medication definitely changes your relationship with your body, your brain, and food. And I think, someone that has dieted or struggled with their weight basically for their entire life, I'll tell you, the first time I remember consciously thinking about my weight was in 3rd grade. So I was about 10 years old. And I remember it was either at the beginning of the year or the end of the year because we were in shorts in class. And I was sitting at my desk next to this girl. And I thought to myself, Why are my legs so much bigger than hers? How terrible is that? That we grew up that way. Like, so that's why, like, anyone that comes down hard on you for starting on this medication, like, blocked. You have not been in our shoes. You have not gone where we have gone in the deepest, darkest thoughts of our mind. Get out of here. So anyway, I digress. So for the first month, I really didn't realize that my body and my mind was giving me feedback, and really helpful feedback, and the signals, I needed to learn how to listen to them. And when I started to pay attention, that's when it got easier. So now if you're learning the patterns, like, oh, simpler, lighter meals make me feel better, or getting in higher protein, I'm not craving, the extra chocolate at night or something. Yeah, learning those patterns makes a huge difference. And if you're about to start on this GLP-1 journey, or you're thinking about it, definitely having a provider that you can bounce ideas off of, or thoughts off of, or one that just like supports your decisions in general is really, really helpful. Currently, I am partnered with LEMD. That is where I get my compounded tirzepatide through. And I'm having a really great experience with them so far. And I think if I were to start with them back then, some of the education that they give you, I think that some of these mistakes maybe I wouldn't have made. So the biggest takeaway from my first month on a GLP-1 is this: you don't need to do everything perfectly. You're learning a new way of eating, of responding to hunger, and fueling your body. And all of that takes time. Give yourself grace and be patient with your body. And it's all about consistency. So if you're on a GLP-1 and you've watched this far, let me know in the comments, what was your biggest mistake that you think was your biggest mistake in your first month? Let me know. That might help some others that are on their journey as well. Or if you're about to start your GLP-1 journey, comment that down below too, and I'm happy to help with anything you have questions on. And if you're interested in seeing what I found helpful in my day-to-day life while on a GLP-1, watch this video next. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Subscribe to see future stuff, and I'll see you in the next video.